So student, now coming to our next new topic, that is nutrition in animal. As you can see in the slide, so animals get their food from plants either directly by eating the plants or indirectly by eating animals that eat plants. Some animals eat both plants and animals. They are also known as omnivores. And those animals who eat only plants, they are known as herbivores, and those animals who eat only the flesh of other animals are known as carnivores. So animal nutrition include nutrient requirements, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. Now class, we will understand how step by step digestion in humans occur, where it starts, how it goes, where the breakdown of different components of food take place, what are the different organs involved here. Okay, so class, now we are going to start with our topic, that is digestion in human. As you can see in the slide, there is a figure given here, which is the figure of human digestive system. If you see from the top, then our human digestive system starts with buccal cavity, followed by esophagus, which is also known as food pipe, then followed by stomach, then liver, gallbladder, followed by pancreas, then small intestine, then large intestine, ending it in the anus. So class, as you can see in the slide, we take food through our mouth, then digest it and utilize it. So the food passes through a continuous canal which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. The canal can be divided into various compartments. First one is buccal cavity, second the food pipe or esophagus, third one is stomach, then fourth one is small intestine, fifth one is large intestine, ending in the rectum, and sixth one is anus. All these parts that I have listed now, from number 1 buccal cavity to number 6 anus, combine together to form a single canal which is known as alimentary canal or the digestive tract. The food components gradually get digested as food travels through the various compartments of alimentary canal. The inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine and various glands such as salivary glands, the liver, and the pancreas secrete digestive juices. The digestive juices convert substances of food into simpler ones. The digestive tract and the associated glands together constitute our digestive system. Now class, we will understand one by one about the different organ and different topics regarding the human digestion. So we will start with the number 1, the mouth and the buccal cavity. So our food is taken into the body through the mouth. The process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. We chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into small pieces. Each tooth is rooted into a separate socket in the gums. Our teeth vary in appearances and perform different functions. The different type of teeth humans have are incisor, canine, premolar, and molar. Now class, coming to the next organ, that as you can see in the slide is the food pipe or esophagus. The swallowed food passes into the food pipe or esophagus. The food pipe runs along the neck and the chest. Food is pushed down by movement of the wall of the food pipe. Actually, this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal and pushes the food downwards. At times, the food is not accepted by our stomach and is vomited out. Now coming to the next topic class, that is stomach. It is our next organ. After the food passing from the food pipe, the food reaches our stomach. The stomach is a thick-walled bag. Its shape is like a flattened U and it is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It receives food from the food pipe at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. The acid kills many bacteria that enters along with the food and makes the medium in the stomach acidic. The digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. So class, stomach is that organ which secrete hydrochloric acid to kill all the pathogens or non-acceptable bacteria or microorganisms that enter along with our food. And since we all know that acid damages tissue or cell of any living organism, that's why mucus is very important, and mucus is secreted by the stomach so that mucus can get stick to the inner wall or inner lining of the stomach, and the acid can't touch the inner lining of the stomach. Acid will only touch the food that we have eaten. Then stomach releases or secrete different kind of digestive juices that digest different type of nutrients present in the food. Now class, coming to our next topic, that is the next organ, the small intestine. So the small intestine is highly coiled and is about 7.5 meters long. It receives secretion from the liver and the pancreas. Besides its wall also secrete juices. A liver is a reddish-brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland in the body. It secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac called gallbladder. The bile plays an important role in the digestion of fats. The pancreas is a large cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrate and proteins and changes them into simpler forms. The partly digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine, where the intestinal juices completes the digestion of all components of the food. The carbohydrates get broken into simple sugars such as glucose, fats converted into fatty acid and glycerol, and proteins converted into amino acids. Now coming to the next portion class, now we have broken down the complex food components into their simpler forms. Now come the job of absorption. So absorption in small intestine. Now the digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the walls of the intestine. This process is called absorption. The inner wall of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths. These are called villi. So the villi increases the surface area for absorption of the digested food. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surfaces. The surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials. The absorbed substances are transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body, where they are used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body. This process of formation of new substances after getting absorbed or they are being used for energy requirement is known as assimilation. For example, the glucose is absorbed from this small intestine and sent back to the required cell, and then in required cell, when they require the energy, they break down the glucose. It is one of the example of assimilation process. So coming to our next topic, that is the large intestine, which is the last portion of this digestive tract. So as you can see in the slide, the large intestine is wider and shorter than the small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter in length. Its function is to absorb water and some salt from the undigested food material. The remaining waste passes into the rectum and remains there as semi-solid feces. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time. This is called egestion. So class, in this way, the whole digestive tract is formed. They do their different part of jobs. They require all those different kind of digestive juices to break down different kind of nutrients from their complex form to simpler form. Then they are getting absorbed and they are sent to the required body cell. I hope that all of you have understood class. That's all for today's class. Thank you class.